What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So not long ago I made a video on Pokemon Go slang and what different terminologies mean what in the Pokemon Go community. People loved that video and there was a lot of extra slang that people added from the comment section. So I thought we'd do a part 2 of Pokemon Go slang, going through what different terms people use in the community mean. I just want to say after the video, if there's a certain slang that you don't see in this video or in the part 1 of the video, please let me know below. Maybe we could do a part 3 if there's enough. Let's get into it, starting with different slang and jargon used in raids that we missed. First one is going to be ANR, and this is mainly used in Pokemon Go raiding discords and in the raiding apps like PokeGenie. ANR stands for added and ready, and it means when you are in a hosted raid and you've added the person's code and you're ready to receive a raid invite, you type ANR into the chat and that means you are ready and you have sent them a friend request. We also have the term lobby up and jump in. Lobby up and jump in is what you're going to tell other people when you're doing a raid and you're ready to go into the raid lobby. Pretty much just means you're ready for the raid and it's time for everyone to go in. We also have the opposite of that, which is going to be jump out and back out. This means that you are in the raid lobby already, but you need to back out for a reason. You know, someone is not ready or you don't have enough people. This is what you're going to message other people you're raiding with to tell them to get out of the raid. Finally, we have the Wafu/tap and go raiding. This is a raiding technique in which it consists of you going into a car and actually driving from raid to raid around town to do as many raids as possible in the shortest amount of time. Generally, you're going to go into a raid lobby, you're going to go into the raid, and then once the raid has started, you're going to start driving away from that raid to the next raid so that you can minimize the amount of time you have to wait between raids because you're already driving to the next location. It's an advanced technique, but if you ever hear that terminology, that's what it stands for. Next up, let's get into some PvP terms that I missed. First of all is going to be the term spice. Spice is pretty much the opposite of meta. If you don't know, we talked about meta in the other video, and meta stands for most effective tactics available. When we use the term spice, it's going to mean that you're not using the best Pokemon there is. When you're using a spice pick, you're using something, you know, not a lot of people use it, and it's not the best there is, but it's interesting. For example, take a Azumarill in the Great League. That is a meta pick. That is a strong pick. But then let's take a Pokemon like Bibarel in the Great League. Bibarel, you don't see them, a lot of them, so that would be considered a spice pick or a spicy Pokemon, or if you have multiple spice picks on your team, that is a spicy team. That's pretty much what spice means in Pokemon Go. Next up, we have baiting. Baiting stands for using a lower energy charge move to try to fake your opponent into using a shield when they thought it was going to be a hard-hitting charge move. Take a Pokemon like Walrein, for example. You're going to have 2 moves on your Walrein, Icicle Spear and Earthquake. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build up enough energy to use an Earthquake, and then you're going to want to throw the Icicle Spear so they think you're using the Earthquake, but really you're using an Icicle Spear, and that is what baiting is. It's a great technique and very important to know. We then have the term debuff. You ever heard the term debuff? If you know, there's certain moves in Pokemon Go that actually will debuff or buff your opponent. It's always going to be charge move, but take Acid Spray, for example. It has a 100% chance to debuff the opponent defense by 2 stages. Debuff, buff, all that stuff refers to moves that will debuff or buff your opponent. I just want to know, if you switch out a Pokemon, all your debuffs and buffs will reset. We then have the term lead, closer, and switch. Lead, closer, and switch consists of the 3 positions you're going to have on a Pokemon PvP team. Kind of like in a soccer game, you have your midfielders, your attackers, your defenders, all that stuff. Lead Pokemon, like the name suggests, is going to be the first Pokemon you throw out. Generally, this Pokemon does very well against most of the meta, using that word again, in the Great League, Ultra League, whatever league you're running. The safe switch or your swap or your switch, this is going to be the Pokemon that if your lead Pokemon doesn't do well against their lead Pokemon, this is the Pokemon you're switching into. Generally, you want your safe switch to be very versatile and have not a lot of weaknesses, that when they switch out their Pokemon to counter your safe switch, they're not doing very well. Mew is a great safe switch in the Great League because Mew can learn almost any move. So safe switching a Mew, people don't know what to come in with because they don't know what Mew is going to hit them with. They could swap in their Snorlax, and then next thing you know, your Mew actually has Focus Blast and you could destroy their Snorlax. Finally, we have the closer, and that's going to be the last Pokemon on your team. This Pokemon usually does well once shields are down. It's a super hard hitting Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon that's going to clean up the trash once the game is over. Next up, we have the core breaker. Now, taking a look back, we have the 3 positions on the team, right? Lead, closer, and switch. And you're going to have 3 different Pokemon. So let's say your team is Azumarill, Sableye, and a Alolan Marowak. A core breaker is going to be a Pokemon that does well against all 3 of those Pokemon. So a core breaker is going to it's going to break the core of your team, and it's going to do well against a lot of Pokemon. For example, the team we just mentioned, a good core breaker would be Shiftry, because Shiftry is a grass and dark type, meaning it does well against Sableye, it does well against the Alolan Marowak, and it does well against the Azumarill. Next up, we have Bulk and Glass Cannon. When we talk about Bulk, like the name suggests, it just means a Pokemon that's chunky, it's got a lot of HP, it's got a lot of defense, and when a charge move lands on it, it usually doesn't do that much damage. Pokemon like Snorlax, Blissey generally have a lot of bulk, Walrein as well. And then we have the term Glass Cannon, or, you know, squishy Pokemon, all that stuff. That's going to be the opposite. And generally, when you're talking about that, you're talking about Pokemon that are generally weak to charge moves and will pretty much die most of the time. For example, you know, Electivire, Machamp, most of those Pokemon, generally they can't really take more than 1 or 2 charge moves. They don't have a lot of bulk. Next up, we have the term spammy. When we're talking about spammy or fast, a lot of people like to refer to Pokemon as is fast, that just means a Pokemon can throw out charge moves very quickly. It means that their fast move and their charge move charges up very quick, and they're very fast at throwing charge moves. Take Pokemon like Greedent, take Pokemon like Walrein. Those Pokemon can get to Body Slam and Icicle Spear super fast, so that's when we refer to those Pokemon as spammy Pokemon. Next up, we have ML, GL, and UL. These stands for all the leagues. ML is Master League, GL is Great League, and Ultra League is UL. And then we have GBL, which stands for Go Battle League, which is where you battle other people online, if you never heard of that one. We have GGs, which stands for Good Game. My mom and my girlfriend did not know what this stood for the longest time, and they're always like, why is he saying GGs at the end of every battle? It stands for Good Game. It's just kind of a thing of respect. Once you beat opponent or have a battle, you say GG's, Good Game. And then finally, we have the term ELO. Now, ELO is actually how the game decides who you're gonna go up against. Once you reach rank 20 in Go Battle League, you will unlock your ELO, which is pretty much a number signifying how good you are and what your ranking is. You need different ELOs to hit different ranges. So for example, you know, Ace is 2000 ELO, Legend is 3000 ELO, and all those different leagues. You can see them on screen right now. ELO rating system is actually a popularized ELO rating by the man Arpad ELO, which was used for chess, I believe. But let me just quickly explain how the ELO system works. How the ELO system works is it bases on who you go up against determines how many points you get. If you have a lower ELO than your opponent and you defeat your opponent, that means you're gonna go up more ELO because you weren't supposed to defeat that opponent because technically they're better than you, right? If you lose against that opponent, you're gonna lose less ELO because again, they're better than you. They expect you to lose. On the opposite end of that spectrum, if you go up against an opponent with lower ELO than you and you lose to them, you're gonna lose a lot of ELO because the game's like, yo, why did you lose that game? You're technically better than this person. And then of course, on the opposite end of that, if you beat a person with lower ELO than you, you're not gonna gain as much ELO because of the fact that they're worse than you. You should have won that game no matter what. So they're not gonna reward you a lot, right? That's pretty much in general how the ELO system works. But to gain ELO and get to higher ranks, you just wanna win games consistently because if you win games, you go up ELO. If you lose games, you go down. Okay, finally, let's go on to some miscellaneous / other terms that we missed in the last video. First of all is XL Pokemon. XL, this is not referring to a Pokemon size. When you're talking about XL Pokemon, all that stuff, you're talking about a Pokemon that has been powered up with XL candies. If you don't know, once you're level 40, you will unlock XL candies, which allow you to power Pokemon from level 40 all the way to level 50. So any Pokemon that has been powered up from between level 40 and 50 is considered an XL Pokemon or an XL form, all that stuff. We then have the term Mons, which just stands for Pokemon. People say, hey, let's go catch some Mons, or oh, my Mons are weak, things like that. That's just a short term for the word Pokemon. And Pokemon actually stands for pocket monsters, I believe. And then we have the term drift. Drifting just means that your GPS isn't great and your character is moving even while you're standing still. A lot of you guys probably experience drift. I don't as much anymore because my new phone has a good GPS. But if you're just standing still and your character is moving in Pokemon Go, that means you're drifting. We have FR, which stands for friend or request. If anyone ever says, yo, send me your FR, that's friend request, or drop your FR. And a lot of people like to say code too, yo, drop my code. What's your code? All that stuff just stands for your friend code. And then finally, we have the term Perma Boost. Perma Boost stands for Pokemon that are shiny rate boosted in Pokemon Go. So if you say, hey, does this Pokemon have Perma Boost? It means, does that Pokemon have a 1 in 64 shiny rate, because the Perma Boosted shiny rate is 1 in 64. If you want to learn what Pokemon are Perma Boosted, I'll link below a video. And I do have a video on shiny rates coming out very soon. But generally, you'll be like, yo, Lapras has a Perma Boosted shiny potential. That means it's going to have a 1 in 64 shiny chance of getting a Lapras from any type of encounter. And that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hopefully that explains some terms that you guys might have not understood in the Pokemon Go community. If you have any other ones that weren't mentioned in this video or in the last video, feel free to comment them below. And if there's enough of them, I'll make a part 3 of this video. In the end, this video helps you guys out, and that's my main goal. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, guys. We'll see you all in the next one, guys. Fall from Discipline. Peace.